Welcome to Papa John's World and an update on the Blaze King Princess 32. It's been doing a real good job. We got some record warmth. We hit 67 degrees for a couple of days, so we actually didn't run the wood stove. So how many days you can run on really cold before cleaning it? I think about the most is going to be about 15 days. But it isn't because you couldn't keep going. I mean, it still holds the ash in the stove fine. But what does happen is the bottom of the stove and the bottom of the door, there's about 6 inches of difference. And as you fill that up with ash, and it says when the ash is within 1 inch of the bottom of the door, that's the best time to clean it. Although the ash pan won't hold that. So if you try to scrape all of that ash in the stove into the pan, it overflows the ash pan and makes a mess below the bottom of the stove. And some of the problem with these stoves, this one hasn't been fed for almost 14 hours ago. I banked the stove. We've slept all night. It's still in the active range, but at the lower end of it for how the catalytic combustion is doing. So what I'm getting at is when you open the stove to clean it, you're still going to have hot coals in it. And to scrape those hot coals into the ash pan and not really be able to see the ash pan for how full it's getting, I don't want to scrape a hot coal into the bottom of the stove. So that worries me a little bit on that. The other thing is the ash pan could be about 3 inches longer. And the other thing I don't like is the ash pan so heavy when it's full of ash, it's fairly difficult to carry. And let's take a look at that and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we'll pull out the ash pan and take a look at that. So there's the ash pan. Get a better view of that. That's it right there. It's pretty short. It's about 9 by 10. And then it comes with a little piece of galvanized metal. This is the problem I had. So this comes out and goes over the top. And that contains the dust while you carry the ash pan outside. You hold it here and here to carry it, but it probably weighs, I'm guessing 12 pounds. Considerably heavy on this end, and it's made out of 1/8 inch or 11 gauge steel. Pretty heavy. And then, of course, when you overfill this, it makes a mess down there in the tracks, and it's a little concerning. You can see some of the ash that fell in it just from the little holder. This goes in like that, and that's the way it shows in the there. Well, not impressed with that. Probably the worst part of the stove. Now let's look at the best way to clean your Blaze King. Yeah, we're gonna clean some of the ash out of the wood stove. See that very good. It's pretty warm in there. Quite a bit of ash. First thing I'll do is rake the coals out of the ash, and I built a little fork to do that. And usually put all the ash to one side, or all the hot coals to one side. tried that with just 5 rakes, and it seemed like I was letting too much hot coals go. So I put some more smaller rods in there. I don't know how good that's working. And kind of collect the coals, unburnt wood a little bit. Think I might get a flame out of that in a minute. I don't try to get all of the ashes out. It says you're supposed to leave some ashes in the bottom. Helps protect the brick. So I need the coals back on. Making dust. Of course, today my wife just vacuumed the whole house, cleaned it all up, and then I'm doing this. I'm probably not her favorite person right now. I was going to try to get into cleaning like once a week. I think that's a good idea. As long as you keep the dust in the wood stove, the flue will carry most of it out. And the ash that does come out of this wood stove is really burnt down ash. It does a really good job of getting 100% of that wood burnt. That little bit that's left in there, I'm just going to scatter a little. I built a little lid for my bucket when I open the back door to carry the ash out. If the wind's blowing it all, it wants to blow it in my face. I put a little lid on that. You see that? Okay, that's really cleaning the stove. And then if you want to, you can put them ash right in the front of the stove. That's what I like to do with them. They're not the ash, but the coals. And I'll show you why in a minute. First thing let's do is take the ashes outside. Put in a piece of aspen wood right on those coals. Yeah. Then I'll put a piece of oak in front of it. There. A little messy. A little bit of ashes on top of the stove. I'll get out the vacuum and vacuum that up. Okay, that's cleaning the wood stove. That's the best. That's the way I like to do it. I'm sure there's 100 other ways. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.